Everyone's different. What's your talents and gifting? You are unique in your own way. Don't you mind what people say? So shine your colors bright, shining brighter than ever, and live your best life and do whatever you want. Shake, shake those haters off, off. You're an eagle so soar, soar and rise above. Shine bright, show all your colors. You're not a carbon copy, so show them what you shine bright. Live a vibrant life, live vibrant with Sandra. Shine bright, show all your colors. You're not a carbon copy, so show them what you shine bright. Live the vibrant life, live vibrant with Sandra V.
Hi and welcome to Vibrant. I'm your host Sandra V, and I'm so glad that you chose to tune in with us today. We have a treat in store for you. You'll never guess who's here in studio with us today. We have Isaac Taylor. Isaac is a TV producer. He's also a filmmaker, a 3-time NAACP Image Award winner, Emmy nominated director, writer, you name it. So help me welcome Isaac Taylor. Isaac! Woo-hoo! Thank you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. How are you?
I am good.
Good.
In a good space, and I'm just happy to be here. So thank you.
Wonderful. It's our pleasure. So listen, we want our audience to get to know you, the man who's usually behind the camera.
I'm usually over there.
Now we turning the mic on Isaac Taylor.
Which is fine. I can handle it.
You can handle it? So you ready?
You guys won't break me.
All right, we gonna see. No, so tell us, how did your career in film and television begin?
Whew. Well, let's go back a little bit. I started off, I didn't go to school for this. I didn't have any type of experience. I actually was a security and bodyguard for talent. And then I started working on different studios.
Really?
And I remember my first TV gig my first security guard gig was Judge Judy.
Really?
The TV court show, Judge Judy.
Okay.
I was hired to protect her. And I just remember always being on set and watching everything. I was watching all the moving pieces, you know, the producers, the cameraman, the audio. And I just started, thinking to myself, like, I can do that.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and I started asking questions. And I would get off of work at 3. I would stay there till like 9 because there was so much going on in the studio that I was like a sponge. I was like soaking everything in. And over a period of time, I was like, okay, I'm doing this security guard gig. It's paying the bills, but what else is there for me?
So this was igniting something within you.
And I didn't know what it was. Honestly, it was about the money. I asked someone, like, how much money do you make being a producer? And they told me, I was like, that's like 5 times more than what I make in a month. So, and then I started asking more questions, and I started watching them. And I remember one day, I had on my security guard uniform. It was a real uniform too, the patches, the tight khakis. And I remember going on my lunch break. I went and changed into some slacks and a dress shirt. And I went upstairs to the Judge Judy office, and I asked, and I interviewed. And they hired me as a production assistant, which is, people in the business know that's like the lowest, the entry-level position.
Yeah.
And I got hired as a production assistant, and I quit my security guard job, obviously. And then 2 months later, I got hired as an associate producer on Judge Joe Brown.
What you say?
And then a year later, I got hired as a producer. And from that point on, it just took off. And I didn't know how. I wasn't complaining about it. My income rose, and I was in a good place. And then from that point on, I was like, you know what, I can do this. Kind of like that kid. Like, you know, as a kid, you watch another kid do something, and you be like, I can do that. You know, get like me, I can do that. I'm like, okay. So I did it.
Wow. That's amazing because, okay, so this wasn't your vision for yourself all along.
I went to school for sociology and criminal justice. I want to be a cop.
Right.
And I want to be a social worker.
Okay. And look at how your path just kind of shifted.
It was
into this whole career.
Yeah, and even thinking back at it, it's like I never would have thought that it would happen. Not that I'm just you know, I'm all the way here with it, but it's just like from where I started from. You know what I'm saying? To not have this. I know people that go to school for this, and they don't have the opportunities I get to have because I got the experience now. Right. And I'm just thankful. I don't even know what else to call it. My mom would say I'm blessed. You know, and so I guess I am. Yeah, and you know, it's surprising too that many of our guests, they didn't start out on that trek, but that greatness was in them, and just something happened along the way that pulled that out of them, that ignited that in them. So tell us about your first major project. My first major project, I would say, it was definitely working for, you know, Judge Judy and Judge Joe Brown, because that was a big network. I think at the time it was Paramount, which now switched over to CBS. Okay. And if you know Paramount, that's a huge company from TV to film. Right. And just to be around those, in that atmosphere of, okay, you here now, you can't fail. And also while I was there in the industry growing up, or coming up in the industry, there wasn't a lot of, you know, people that looked like me. Okay. So, not that there's, it just wasn't. And then doing what you were doing. Right, doing what I was doing. There wasn't a lot of black men. And I don't know how to say it, but there wasn't a lot of black straight men, I should say. Okay. And, so. I get it. It was one of those things, but there was black women. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, where everywhere I would go, even doing security, when I was doing security guard, I would work at different shows, and I just never would see that many of me, people like me. Okay. And going back, I honestly, one person I did see was Steve Harvey. It was Steve Harvey. He had a show on a lot, and I was hired that day to be his bodyguard. And I remember seeing, I can't remember his buddy's name or right-hand man at the time, but he was the executive producer. So now I get to see a black man in a suit. Living, moving, individual, and calling the shots. So I was like, okay, I can do that. I can do it. They like me. I can do that. Like, you see, so that was one of the things that, you know, it wasn't an inspiration. It was more so like, okay, now I see it. So it can be done. You know what I'm saying? And it does exist. It does, exactly. Right. And just witnessing that, it was like, okay, so I'm here. The black man has his own show, and then not outside of having an own show, a black man is now calling the shots too. Right, right. So I was like, okay, wonderful. I get out this uniform one day, homie. You'll see me. Wonderful. And so it was just little things like that, and you know, I'm a competitive by nature because of sports. So it's just like I can do it, but then I'm gonna do it, and then I'm gonna win too. You know, I'm not gonna lose. Right. Not that you won't beat me. But that doesn't mean I lost. It just means, like, okay, you won this game. I'll come back and get you next time. And that was kind of like the approach I took to some things. So.
Hi, it's Coach Sandra V, and I'm excited to be sharing with you today just a bit of information that I know is going to empower you. Listen, we talk in coaching about limiting beliefs. Sometimes we have a belief system that actually causes us to be stagnant. It can also sabotage our goals and dreams. So as your personal life coach, I will help you sift through any thoughts, any feelings, any emotions that are causing you to be blocked, and I will show you how to get yourself released from those blocks. So give me a call, and I would love to work with you. Let's get coaching. what success is being where you said you were going to be, doing what you said you were going to be doing. That's success.
Mm-hmm.
You know, to some degree. So did you have any mentors? Was there anybody that came alongside, took you under the wing and said, hey, this is how you do it? Or you just kind of
No.
freelance?
I just freelance. I just learned on my own.
Mm-hmm.
When I got to Judge Judy, the bailiff, Bird, you know, that's my buddy. You know, and he would always talk to me, and, you know, he would kind of give me that fatherly advice. And so thank you, Bird Hawkins.
Thank you, Bird.
The bailiff. So yeah, he became like a mentor to me. You know, he definitely believed I was supposed to be doing something else.
Okay.
We didn't know what.
Okay.
But he was just like, you know, you're supposed to be doing something. Although we have fun on set. We would have fun on set. But he was like, this is something that you're supposed to be doing. And he's been there. You know, he's been supporting me. We talk all the time. So yeah, I would definitely say Bird.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, gave you props now. You happy? Yeah, so Bird was definitely one of those guys that I always looked up to. He got me my first suit. Like, he's like, man, you got
like business suit? Are you kidding?
You gotta do this. I'm like, man, I'm not wearing no suit.
Wow.
You know, like, no, you gotta have at least one suit. You know, two suits, a dark colored one and a light colored one. I was like, Bird, I'm not wearing no suit, man.
Because he too had been in that environment and seeing how it goes. Right.
He knows. And again, I didn't know. And he got me my first suit.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
And so I know his chest be sticking out when he sees some of the things that he went on and did.
Yeah. He's happy for me, and you know, he's doing his thing. He sees I'm doing mine, and we still keep in touch, and yeah.
That's special. So now you've worked with several networks and you've done several projects from beginning to end. So can you just give us a brief overview of how that whole process goes?
Yes, I worked for a lot of networks. And that's a good thing because it's nothing but experience.
Right.
So I worked for Fox. I worked for Sony, Paramount, CBS. I know I'm probably missing some, but I worked for definitely all the top major networks. And it was nothing but experience, and I loved it. And when it comes to doing certain projects, I have to say one of the projects that sticks out most to me is the work I do with Unsung.
Okay.
And I say that because I love music. I love these artists that I listen to, my mom listened to. So now to be able to work with them and have them trust me with their stories, it's like, you know, and to some extent, we are, you know, kind of revamping some of their careers, you know, because the legacy lives on, but, you know, people forget after a while. So then me being in a position to highlight their career and bring it back to even a different generation, like I love it. And the response from the actual artists is like, that's even, because anyone I work with, I can call right now and say what's up, or they call me. We make a connection because I approach it as I'm a producer, but I'm also a human. So I need to tell a story because that's my job.
Right.
But I need to be understanding as a human being, because that's just life.
Right.
So it's like you gotta balance. Like, okay, I can tell a great story, but can I be human? You know, can I be realistic and true to myself and tell the story?
Oh yeah.
So I work for some shows where you got to throw people under the bus just for the ratings. People do it all the time. So yeah, I've done it, and I'm not happy about it. Not with Unsung, but just in the past, and I'm not happy about it. But some producers approach things just for the check, and some higher ups, you know, it's all about the ratings.
Okay.
So the one thing I definitely respect about the work I do with Unsung and how their blueprint is set up is that, you know, it's a documentary. So we tell facts, we tell the truth, and it's not, you know, I don't know.
It just is what it is.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Exactly. And, you know, so starting from beginning to end, with Unsung, I'll just take you through, you know, some of the steps we have to do is, one, we have to research. We have to research. We Google, we Wikipedia, we look up articles online. But even then, that doesn't mean it's the truth. Okay. So we do that step. And then we call the artists. We do a pre-interview. You know, we set up meetings. I like to meet them face-to-face if they're local. But because you want to make a connection.
Sure, beforehand,
yeah, because they trust in you. Yeah. And you have a responsibility now.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, because you can really say some stuff, or it can be perceived the wrong way.
Yeah.
and it can damage them. It can hurt them. It won't hurt us.
Right.
I mean, we lose credibility.
Yeah.
But I won't take that burden of hurt like they are because it's not me.
Right.
You know, so
that's a powerful statement. Just that right there, what you just said.
Yeah, and I really go into stuff really thinking that okay, I need them to like it. You know, regardless of the network, because you know you still got to produce a quality product. But to me, like the talent, like I definitely want their, and you can't make everyone happy.
No,
but
people do remember how you make them feel. They may not remember a lot of other stuff about you, but how they went away feeling from your presence.
Oh, I made
people
cry.
Remember that.
People cry in interviews. I'm sorry, y'all.
Are you bullying people?
No. It's just because you get comfortable. I get you know you get in their personal space, and a lot of times people don't have, or they haven't had the time to sit and think about some of the stuff that happened in the past. So then when you approach them a different way, they think about it, you know, and it hits them.
Right.
And I mean,
because they really lived that.
Yeah.
It's a story to us, the audience, but they really were there and lived that, and they can remember how that made them feel.
And here we are bringing it back up.
Yes.
And we are bringing it back up and taking them back to that moment.
Absolutely.
So they're thinking, you know, someone will be like, wow, you really did your research. Yeah, I did my research. But it's great. You know, it's not a bad thing. You know, I mean, it's not just women emotional. It's men emotional. Like, to the point it was like, okay, do I get kiss you now? Or do I wait for the moment?
Exactly.
You know, so you gotta let them sit in the moment, you know, and the tears, the snot bubbles, it's just like one of those things. It's like you have to, it's real. You know, it's real. And I enjoy that, you know, and you take people to a place of healing, and then it's like, okay, let's get back to the music. Gotta get back to the music, you know. But that was their lives, and some of their personal lives is what affected them in the music business and entertainment.
And you know, just to piggyback off of what you're saying too, you know, sometimes we see them as these icons, and we forget there's a whole person
in there.
Before they step on the stage. There's a whole. That's what they do. But that doesn't encompass all of who they are, you know. And so to let people see this is a real human being.
Yes.
With real feelings, real life experience, and you can connect with that human side, like you said.
And that's what makes everything great about what we do and the people that we have highlighted, is because some of them come in there like they come in there vulnerable. They come in there as not the artists, but themselves, you know. And then it's just a great thing to capture, you know. And I mean, that's why it's been 10 plus seasons for us.
Right.
6 awards. We've been nominated every year for this Unsung series. We're nominated again, so in March we might win again. Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
So it's. I just enjoy it, you know, but it's hard work, you know, because you have to pay attention.
Right.
You know, we do our research, we pre-interview, we set up the interviews with the artists, their close families, people who were attached to them in the business from childhood up until from birth to your cousins, sisters, parents, to middle school, high school, to college, their first album, their first record deal, their first demo deal. The ups and downs, people who came, people who left, the bad managed, you know, we highlight all that stuff. And then we mix in the music. You know, we mix in the music in between those stories to build this great, meaty story to tell. And honestly, 42 minutes on our show is not enough.
It isn't. Now, when you're talking to somebody that's got a 30-year, 40-year, 50-year, some of them, career, is hard to condense all that.
It's hard.
Yeah.
And then it's even harder to get into, because, you know, some people go through the ups and downs of life. You know, you got the bad management, you got the misuse of money, you got the fighting within each other, you got the sickness, you know, you got the drugs, you got the death, you know what I'm saying? So we have to tell a story that is touching but entertaining, but also takes you back to why we love them in the first place.
Hi, it's Coach Sandra V, and I am here to remind you that as your personal life coach, I am available to help you to put together processes and steps a doable plan that will help you to progress toward your personal goals. So give me a call and let's get coaching. And wouldn't you agree that some of their greatest songs or films or whatever they put together, it came out of their own pain. It came out of their own experience. You know, they may have started out with raw talent or fame, but as life was happening to them, it just, you know, it made what they did more concentrated.
Yeah.
Because now you're reaching an audience in a place where that audience might be experiencing the same stuff.
Yeah, and it's crazy to see how even the 80s and 90s music today is coming back full circle, you know, and it's just like some of these music, I always ask about, like, one of my ending questions when I do an interview is,
he's teaching me, by the way, y'all.
Is why has this song lasted so long? You know, why, you know, and the first thing, because it's timeless. You know, people still feel that way today. You know what I'm saying? So it's just great to see. Because a lot of this stuff is pain, right. Love. It doesn't get old. It's not going. Right. It's never going to go away.
No, it isn't.
It's never going to go away. So when you have these melodies and these lyrics about pain and love, that was done like in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s, and even whatever generation you're a part of, you want to go through that. You want to use those songs to heal. Yeah. Or be like, okay, that song just answered my question about you. Or that song healed me, so now I can move on. Right. You know, now I can move forward. So. Or
I'm not crazy. Somebody else actually felt that way.
Both y'all is crazy.
or something, right?
You're right.
You know?
You're right. You know, you feel you're not alone. I'm not the only one. She felt that way in the 80s. It's now in the 2000s. You know, and I feel the same way. So it's not me. You know, she understands what I'm talking about. Go ahead and say it. You know? I mean, it's great. I mean, it's the feeling of the outcome, the responses from people, the responses from the artists, and they work again too. Like some of them, people forget, and they don't have, you know, they don't have the outlet. So because times are changing, the way things are done are changing. Yeah. But we can't throw out our veteran artists, right? Because a lot of them still sound great. Yeah, like, I mean, they still entertaining. They still got their vocals. They still look good. They take care of themselves. They're still talented. Yeah. You know, and it's like, I love the fact that I know for sure that the projects I worked on got these people out there working again. That's you know, beautiful. They go on iTunes now and download them. They're like, oh, I forgot about that album. Right. You know, and now they're making money again. You know, so, and I love going to their shows. They invite me to the shows, and I see them out there, and I mean, it's, you know, they put tours together. And I'm not saying it's all because of us. No. But we play a small part. Of course, you know, because we're giving them an outlet to let people know that they still sound good. They still producing. They still are, you know, putting out great songs. It might not be on as big as platform as before, but they're still doing it. So what is it like for you, though, personally, to see a project go from pen to paper to completion? You know what I mean? The answer to that question is surreal. You know, and I refer to a project I did, my first film, Me, Myself, and Them. That was one of my first writing projects. Okay. So I wrote the script. I had this idea about, you know, this guy in relationships, you know, and so we gonna go there now. So we getting ready to go there now. So you ready to go there now? I mean, it falls under the question. May as well. Let's do it. So the watch a project come from a thought, and that's why I got this tattoo. Think it, write it, shoot it. Oh, you know, that's the camera lens. Love it. Because that's the mindset I have. You know, I thought of something. You know, what would it be like to tell a story about me, which is the character in my project, about my relationships, you know, how they don't really work, and how I juggle different women. Don't say anything. Okay, so now you said you was ready to go there. So I got a chance to watch your clip for that. Yes. And first I gotta say, it's genius. Thank you.
It's genius, and it's gonna change the dating game. And the transparency,
yes, that was important.
Was amazing, and I so appreciated it. You know, that you were willing to open up and be honest about where you were and your approach to things and your response to things. And so talk about it, because I got some input on it from a female perspective.
Okay. So I had the idea to, and I'll tell you how I got started. One of my friends was doing a film, and I went to support them at the Pan-African Film Festival. And again, my mindset was like, if you can do it, I can do it too. So I'm at the Pan-African Film Festival, and I'm watching all these short films and documentaries, and I'm just like, how come I haven't done a film yet? Like, what's stopping me from doing a film? And that same night, I went home and thought of a concept. I was like, well, what can I write about? Write about stuff that you know. I talk to myself. Write about stuff that you know.
Yeah, that's all right. Sound people talk to themselves.
I was like,
and they answer back.
I know about relationships that happened, in the past. And I got to a point where, okay, you got to do something different. So then I evolved. There was some growth. So I wrote about that. And I was just writing. Then it went from a script. Then I showed a couple of people that was like, dude.
Genius.
You're like, you got something here. But they didn't understand my mind as a Gemini and thinking that there's more than one person inside of everybody.
Yeah.
I just happens to think that there's maybe 4 or 5 inside of me. So I took that concept of, why do I act this way in relationships? Because it's not really me. At the end of the day, I'm a nice guy.
So now you're dealing with your responses to things.
Yes. And so what I wanted to do is, people always think Geminis are crazy anyway. And there's no shade, but they always think Geminis are two-faced, double personalities. So I wanted to take that concept and make it a reality.
Okay.
So I went back and started thinking about my past and the way my mind was structured at the time to put up a wall for these reasons.
Okay.
So I took that situation with my ex-girlfriend in high school. I took that situation with someone I met in college. I took that situation with someone I just randomly met, who was married or had a boyfriend. And I built stories around those characters. So I took all those experiences and I created a timeline, to tell these stories on what happened over a period of time in my life. So I started from, my childhood, coming from a single parent household. My dad wasn't in the house. So one wall that I built was, I don't know what that type of relationship looked like because I didn't see it growing up.
Got it.
So then I started building these different walls, and I started building separate characters that attached to them, and I created this plot, of now as this character got older, enough is enough. What is he going to do to get help? Black people are going to see therapists. Just put it out there. So I was like, let's take this, tough, cocky, confident, conceited, whatever you want to call him, black guy, and put him in a vulnerable position and have him go see a therapist. So, but I want to twist it, I want to switch it up and, have the therapist say, don't worry about anything. Just come as you are. Be yourself. I said, okay, I'll be myself. All right.
Yeah, and I like that part because, 4 guys showed up?
Yes, 4 guys.
4 of you showed up, and she was like, you brought friends? I didn't know you were bringing friends. And you were like, well, you told me to come as I am. Yep. So you got, and then I like that you had these 4 guys. They're all dressed differently, which to me spoke to their approach to life and their approach to relationships, because one of them was like a bad boy type,
right, the leather jacket,
and all that, and I was like, okay, that's an OG, and all of them had voice.
Yes,
all of them had voice in the session, and she was just wigging out.
Yeah, because you don't expect that. You don't expect. And I think it hadn't been done, so that's why I wanted to, and I had to research. That was my first time directing a film.
Really?
Too. Yeah,
really.
So I had to research on, okay, I'm gonna put the therapist here. I'm gonna put the main character here. I'm gonna put his other personalities, spread them out. And, so I had to think differently. Like, when I was filming it, I had to just kind of make sure the eye contact was there. When this person is talking, make sure this person is listening. And I had to shoot it in separate times of the day. but that's what my mom was thinking. Like, really, that's how I think. Like, I've done stuff, not bad stuff, like criminal stuff, but I've done stuff.
Lived life.
Yeah, I've done stuff, and I literally walked away from it 10 seconds later, and I forgot about it because it was just that moment.
Okay.
And there's one thing I always used to say back there. I'm not trying to make a memory with you. I just want a moment. A moment you can forget.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah. So
I live by that.
I understand.
And it wasn't right. You know what I'm saying? But to protect myself, that's what I did. You know what I'm saying? So it worked. You know, I have no memories of, and again, I'm able to apologize for it now because it was wrong. You know what I'm saying? But I wasn't trying to make memories. Right. It was just moments.
Well, we grow, we mature.
Yeah. It took me a while, but yeah, I'm still growing. I'm not perfect, but I'm better than what I was. I can tell you that.
Okay, so the therapist is working with these 4 guys, and each of them has voice in the session, and eventually it was, now correct me if I'm wrong, it's like they began to integrate back into this one person
as they disappeared,
as she dealt with each
they took their walls down and they accepted responsibilities for their actions.
Okay.
So
but one of the dudes hung out though.
Oh yeah, so you see one disappear, you see another disappear, and you see one that's left.
Yeah.
He's not going anywhere.
Okay.
He is that. He will always be the voice of reasoning. And I say that because I think everyone has that. He's that voice in your head. He's that one that's telling you don't do it or do it. So I wanted to keep it realistic. That, and plus, you're not just gonna heal me in no therapy session. I don't care how many times I go.
Not one.
You're not just gonna, the other 2 guys,
yes. Much power.
Yeah, I want to keep it realistic because guys can be stubborn. We know that, and that's how I am. So I understand some things, and I can grow for some things, but I'm always going to revert back to, you can't tell me what to do. I'm my own voice of reasoning. You know what I'm saying? I hear you, but I don't hear you. You know what I'm saying? So I kept that character there because that's life. You know, I wanted to make it realistic. I wanted to make it be like, don't matter how much this person is trying to grow over here, you're always going to have something trying to pull you back down or just kind of keep you level. And that was that guy. Okay,
so he stays in the room. She comes back in after walking the other 3 to the door. And she's kind of like, okay, he's still here. But you came back and got him.
Yeah.
What was that?
Because what I wanted to show there was,
because you
show the character being vulnerable because those 2 characters disappeared. But then you see this other guy, and as you notice during the film, he didn't say much. He had his headphones on. He was texting
as if he wasn't even present.
He was on a dating app, still swiping. You know what I'm saying? So it's like he didn't care, but he had to be there because everyone else was there. But mentally, he wasn't there.
Oh my!
And when the 2 disappeared, and then the main character leaves, you see him in there, and he was like, what, you think that worked? That didn't work on me. You know, it might have worked on them, but it didn't work on me. Right. And she hits him back with, well, something worked because you're the only one here. And then he thinks like, wow, they did go. Like, something happened, but he don't know what. Which to me was almost a cliffhanger because it's like, you can always come back and add to that because, like she said, something worked because you still here. So if you still here, then some part of you recognize there's still some work to do, right? And that's how real I wanted to keep it. So when he came back in, he wanted to be like, dude, let's go. But you can see the confrontation between the 2, and that's one thing I will build on later is the conflict. So you're gonna it's crazy thinking that way, but no, it's not. Like, who's gonna sit there and argue with themselves? Like so you're really having this inner conflict. But I'm bringing it out, so you see it. Right. It's not one of those things you hear, do it, don't do it. No, you see yourself. You're looking in the mirror at yourself, but it's not you because it's different. You're a little rough. It's beard. You're different clothes, so it's you, but it's not really you. If that makes sense. It does. You gotta follow me because
it was phenomenal. I mean, I really enjoyed it, and I hope that somewhere that you do a female version of that, because women have those internal conflicts. We have those self-talks. Girl, what are you doing? I mean, you're better than this, or you're greater than this, or you don't deserve that. I think you guys have it more than we do. You deserve that.
I think you guys have it more than we do.
She probably would really be wigging out. She probably would really be wigging out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's also too, like, women, I want to keep that part, you know, more natural and organic too, because you see, you got this woman therapist listening to this guy mistreat these women.
And so I can see her wanting to respond particular ways too.
She's like, okay, this yeah. So it's like, she can't hold back, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, this is her job as a professional, but maybe she's been hurt before. Maybe she has dated that that character, Mr. Jones. So it's like, I just try to, or maybe she'd like, you know what I'm saying? I just try to just have so many different, you know, branches to the tree to be like, where can I pick from, you know? Just do something that's not too much of a cliche.
Yeah, it was wonderful. Yeah. It was wonderful. So I'm looking forward to the book and the book signing and whatever else you're going to do. Yeah. So when is your book is coming out? Or
March 16th. I'm on the book event at the Parlor in Hollywood.
Okay.
So March 16th, me, myself, and them, the book. And you're really going to, I don't know how many books you read. I'm not much of a book reader, but when I went into writing this book, I switched it up. You know, it's going to read like a movie script. It's going to read in first person. It's going to read in second and third person. And it's going to be some narrative.
So we get to know each of these
characters. You get some real stuff. I'm very transparent.
And see how they really think and the inner workings of who they are and why they do what they do.
I'm nervous about it, but it was something I needed to do. And most people, again, I'm going against the norm. You know, most people, you would read a book that turns into a film. I turned the film into a book. So,
based on what I saw, Isaac, I'm telling you, people need to be lined up to get this book. Because,
I'm excited for the response, good or bad.
Yeah.
I mean, again, it's still something that I didn't think I could do. So, at the end of the day, it's one of those things where I wrote a book, you know. So now what's next? And now I got to do something else. You know?
Hi, how you doing?
Mr. Jones?
Mr. Jones.
Dr. Taylor, come on in.
Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Jones, who are all of these people? This is a private session.
They're all with me. You told me to come as I am.
Hi, it's Coach Sandra V, and I'm excited to be sharing with you today just a bit of information that I know is going to empower you. Listen, we talk in coaching about limiting beliefs. Sometimes we have a belief system that actually causes us to be stagnant. It can also sabotage our goals and dreams. So as your personal life coach, I will help you sift through any thoughts, any feelings, any emotions that are causing you to be blocked, and I will show you how to get yourself released from those blocks. So give me a call and I would love to work with you. Let's get coaching. Okay, so now also you have what's called the Next Episode concert series.
Yes.
Did I get that right?
The Next Episode.
Tell us about that. What's that about?
So I came up with this idea of doing a concert. Never done one before in my life.
Oh Lord, oh
but
Lord. You looked at somebody and said,
no,
I can do that.
that too. But it was more so of, I wanted to take the unsung artists at first, you know, and because I go to their shows and how we do our documentary is, you know, at the end of the show, we highlight what they're doing now, but we only show a snippet of it.
Okay.
So I was like, why not have a concert with these artists that's still performing across the world?
Right.
You know, let's get into the concert and just mix a little bit of the documentary in there to go behind the scenes and see what they're doing. And again, I've never done a concert before. You know, it's one person believed in me, like this promoter. They put some of the money up to get it going, and I personally reached out to every artist. And once I started reaching out, I started posting on social media what I was doing, I was getting all kind of calls.
Yeah, and you can't.
And I ran out of space.
I
couldn't have everyone on the same show.
Right.
I had like 9 artists.
Right.
9 artists who literally all did me a favor.
So therein lies the series. That's
so I want to create a platform. I want to create this platform to, you know, have these artists perform, bring on special guests, but then also get, you know, sit them down in a chair. Like, so how does it feel to be in 2019 doing shows still? You first came out in the 80s.
Right.
People still love your music today.
Right.
Like, how does it feel?
Yeah.
And the response was like, I mean, I had I'll Be Sure, I had Christopher Williams, Miss Chalet, Shanice, Troop, the group Ideal, the group Black, Shanice. And that was only the people that I was able to put on the show. My emails and text messages and inbox was just like, hey, I'm coming. Can I get on the show? I don't have any room.
Huge.
So now I'm doing it again, you know, and I just wanted to, I worked with Will Downey, great guy, did his own song, talented. And I called him up. I was like, hey, I want to do this show again. He was like, I'm there. Wow. I was like, wait, let me see if I can afford you first. Oh my God. Because Will comes with a full band. And when I say he puts on the show, he puts on the show. So April 11th.
Is your next one?
Yeah, Thursday, got a night with Will Downey. I'm going to add a couple more artists, but yeah, April 11th will be my second concert.
And you're going to be in the Redondo Beach
Performing Arts Center. Yeah, same place.
Yeah.
A night with Will Downey.
Exciting.
Get your tickets now.
Exciting. Now, I know we mentioned earlier about the different awards and stuff you've won, but what was it like to win your first award? Because you've won several and been nominated. But what's that feeling for them to call your name and you got to go up on stage and actually get this award that you watched other people receive?
It was the first one was I was working a job before I got to Unsung.
Okay. And
I remember I was at a job 1 week, and I remember sitting there. I was like, "Yeah, this ain't for me. I'm out."
You could tell. And
I quit.
Just in a week.
I never quit anything in my life, but this job was not for me.
Okay.
And it was crazy because I quit on my birthday, so they had cake. I can laugh now because I don't care. They gave a cake. There was like happy birthday, and I never came back after that.
Wow.
But not because of that. The cake was great. It was a red velvet cake. I think one of my favorite cakes. If you know
mine
me.
Too. Yeah.
But even before that day, I was just like, I'm not supposed to be here. Okay. This is not what I want to do. And then I called Unsung. I know that one of the people over there, and they hired me like a week later. And I went and I took a pay cut. I took a title bump down. Yeah,
but you stepped into your purpose.
Right, but I never did a documentary. I wanted to learn how to do a documentary, and I got there with a paycheck cut in half. By this time, I've been a producer for many years, so there was no way a producer should have taken a lesser position. Okay. No way. Or you just don't take the job. Okay. But I didn't care. I'm from Compton. who am I? I'm not too good to be doing, you know. So I went in there with the mindset of I'm going to learn how to do this job. I'm going to learn how to do a documentary. And the first documentary I produced, it won an award.
Really?
It was Gil Scott-Heron. Really? I knew nothing about Gil Scott-Heron.
Really?
And the stuff I learned about him and putting his episode together with the senior producer, it was, I loved it. And then for it, because back then we had to submit episodes to the NAACP. Okay. Now we get nominated as a show. Okay. Back then, we had to submit one episode. And that one episode was Gil Scott-Heron, and it won. Wow. And when I got that award, I put that award in the passenger seat, put it in the seatbelt, and I drove to Compton, and I drove and showed my mom. Aww. So that was probably one of. I'm just trying to get all emotional. No, but that was one of my. That's beautiful. That was my first image award, and I would never forget it. And then after that, they just started coming. I was like, another one.
Now it's just like, okay, we're up again this year.
I don't have nowhere to put it. But no, it's a great feeling. It makes you feel that people appreciate your work. You know, the fans, the audience, your peers, and it's an accomplishment.
But then to win more than one too, it speaks to the consistency of the quality of your work. You know, you didn't just do it one time and get a winner.
Right.
You've done it several times.
You're right.
All right, so we've kind of talked about the me, myself, and them. But what's next for you? I mean, so many times you said, I could do that. I looked at it, I saw it, and I said, I could do that. Oh, I've never done that before. I need to do that. So what's next for you?
I don't know.
Ooh, come on now. Come on.
I mean, I got the book. I really, my goal for really doing the book is to get it all out of me.
Okay.
Get those stories out, because I think people will relate to them. The short film won many awards.
Did it?
Yeah, it has a lot of accolades, and I was like, well, if the short film can do that, then let's see what the book can do. So I wanted to get it out there and get people reading about it and thinking about it, because I really want it to be a movie. I think it would be a great movie. I think it'd be different. I think people need to see it. You know, although there's tons of movies out there. You know, Think Like a Man, What Women Want Now, What Men Want. You know, so it's just like, okay, that's cool and all, but it's not like this. You know.
Yeah, because this is what I saw, and you correct me if I'm wrong. You've allowed us to see from the inside out, not from the outside in, but through the eyes of this man. You let us see through the eye. You let us see relationship from the eyes of this man. You let us see his heart. You let us see his fears. You let us see his vulnerability. But then you let us see his strength and his comeback and all of that. But through his eyes, though.
Right.
And that's what was beautiful about it.
That's funny.
Because I saw you were talking about it on an interview or something. You know I'm gonna bring it up. You were talking about it, and you started getting a little misty.
First of all,
you say
it wasn't misty.
Yeah, you was misty, Isaac.
It was too bright in there. Like it's bright. I might probably get a misty eye right now because it's too bright. But no, honestly, I never talked about it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like one of those things where I was trying to let people know what I was doing, because when I did that interview, I was just telling people about the project, you know, because I was trying to raise money, because I didn't have the money. Things cost. And again, thank you to everyone who supported my dream, because I raised $10,000 to do that film.
Wow.
Do that short film. And I did the video letting people know why I was doing it, because I had to let people know what they was giving their money to, and that I'm not taking their money and buying Jordans or you know, Reese's peanut butter cups all over the place. So I was telling people why I was doing it, and then I had to let them know where that character came from. Again, it's not a fiction. It's not.
It's a real person.
It's a real person. So I just never talked about it, and then I didn't cry. But something kind of happened just talking about it, because I've never done it before. So it was just a different feeling. So it wasn't crying.
You weren't like.
I know, but
I saw a
men
little.
don't cry.
You know, men don't cry. But you know, but you know what? The other part, and let me say this to you, that was beautiful about it is men do cry.
I know they do,
and it's a sign of strength. It's not a sign of weakness. Where, you know, a lot of times little boys are told, men don't cry, boy. You know, man up. But men do cry, and men do hurt, and women have to understand that men do hurt. And sometimes we see this, you know, strong exterior. We see this big guy, you know, he's all buffed out and everything, and we think, oh, he can handle whatever I throw at him. But
we can't. Yeah.
Words hurt. You know, y'all send us out to go get the bacon for breakfast, and y'all fall apart, and then you be put back together when we get back. You know. So
yeah, I agree. I mean, it's just refreshing not to cry, to get it out. You just got to get it out sometimes. Yeah, I'm not ashamed of it now, but before it was like, I mean, you're not just gonna talk to me and just hurt my feelings. Right. But as a man, I had to, when I first cried, not like as a baby, but as an adult, it was one of those things where I had to let my guard down, because I wanted to feel it. You know, I'm like, well, you know, why is she over there, you know, sobbing, and I'm over here ready to go play basketball, ready to do something else, because I never let that guard down. So the day I let my guard down, it was only because I wanted to. I wanted to feel how I was making other people feel. So when I did it, I was like, wow. I was like, this hurts. Like, this ain't cool. This makes you weak. It makes you not like mentally, but it drains you out. Like it made me like I had to just get it out like a cleanse. Then after that, I was like, okay, I got it. I won't do that again. But so and you'll see that in the book that I wrote. Because I talk about stuff I haven't talked about, like stuff my mom don't know, my family, my friends. I'm apologetic to the people I've hurt. So. And
that's part of the healing process too.
Yeah, I'm healed. I just felt like I just had to do it. Whether they want to hear it or not. But for me,
right?
I had to do it for me.
Absolutely. So well, I commend you. I commend you for the courage that it had to take. To let the world see this side of Isaac Taylor. And it informed me. I'm gonna tell you, because I was wondering certain things, but I was like, oh, okay, so I wasn't imagining that. Okay, so that really does happen. Oh, so they really do think like that sometimes. Oh, okay. And I noticed that the guy, the different characters, they like different style of women, different types of women.
I'm glad you said that.
That stood out to me too.
And that was one thing that I didn't want the cliche to be too, is although you see a black man, that's just because I'm black. But it's not a black man's problem. It's a male problem. So, and that's why I wanted to portray it as not being that stereotypical movie of black men don't know how to treat black women. That's why it's different races in there. Because that character is not black, white, or brown. Is women. It don't matter what color you are. He's not ready, so he's going to do you the same as the other person. So that's why I wanted to, you have a white girl, you have a Caucasian female, you have a Hispanic female, you have someone who's biracial, and then you have a black woman. So it's like I'm not a black man treating a black woman bad or treating a white woman bad. This character is all messed up, so he's treating women bad, so that was one thing I wanted to definitely show. And I actually had an actor who didn't want to do the film because I had different races in there, and that was during a time where it was more so like I don't want my black woman mad at me because I don't want the black woman to see me. I said, oh, so you rather see a black male treating 3 black women badly? You'd rather see a black man treating women badly.
Okay, period.
So as you can see, I ended up not using that actor. I respected his views. I'm like, I'm not changing my script for you though.
Sure.
Because this is the message I want to show.
Right.
That it's not about race. It doesn't matter who you are. You can be a green chick.
It's happening.
From up in, what I'm saying? This guy is treating that green chick bad too. It doesn't matter. This guy is not ready for a relationship, although he portrays that he's ready. He's not ready. It doesn't matter who you are. He's not ready,
right.
And it's not even a black man. It's white man. I know, trust, I have a lot of friends. We all do the same. It don't matter what color your skin is. Y'all do the same. We do the same thing. So it's not just black men. It's not just white men. It's not Hispanic. It's men.
Right.
So I just want to make sure that is being portrayed as well. Is that you just have a black author, you have a black writer, you have a black man portraying this black character. That's it. If I can make a character that's black, white, and brown, he would be a mix. That way people would be like, this dude is really messed up. So that's just some of the little key things I want people to really pay attention to.
I did notice it. I did notice it. So now, with all of your experience and your journey and all the things that you've attempted and succeeded in, what words of inspiration would you give to somebody that might be, that's in the audience, that might even just be struggling to step out to do something great? They know greatness is there. Maybe they're like you. Maybe they're sitting on that job that doesn't fit them. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they're in a setting and saying, wow, wonder if I could do that. What would you say to them to encourage?
What I would say is, one thing, believe in yourself. It is challenging to make a life-changing decision, and you have to have the right support system. You don't always need it, because at the end of the day, you believe in yourself. No one's going to believe in you more than yourself, and that's the approach that I took. And I always thought that there was nothing I couldn't do. Like, you can't tell me what I cannot do. I'm going to wait to try it myself, and then if I can't do it, I will let you know that I can't do it.
But you don't get to tell me.
You don't get to tell me. No, heck no. But you have to evaluate what's going on in your life. I would never tell someone to quit their job, because that's how you make your money. But there comes a point where time is going to pass you by, and you're going to see a lot of people doing things you said you was going to do, or the thought that you had.
Ooh, wow.
And it's going to pass you
Ooh,
by.
wow.
And and that's the approach I take with everything, and it can be done. Trust me, I did it. I knew nothing about any of this stuff, but I researched. I had faith in myself, had confidence in myself, and I did it. It's one of those things. Like I be quoting people now. I quoted a poem. It's like, no matter how far wrong you've gone, you can always, turn around. I'm new here, and I put that in my book.
I love it.
Turn around, turn around, turn around. You'll come full circle and be new here again. Like, I never thought I'd be quoting crap like that.
Right.
But it works.
Yeah, it does.
So it's like I take music, I take lyrics, I take these things I hear, and I apply them to my life, and I just do it. Like Nike. I used to follow that motto, like Nike, just do it. My initials is IT, just do it, Isaac Taylor. Right. Like, it's corny, but it's the truth. Like, I follow that stuff.
But it's working for you.
Yeah, it works for me.
Obviously.
So find what works for you, and do it. And don't just try it. If you fail, that don't mean you can't do it. It just means you just gotta try again.
Right.
So
wonderful.
Just do it.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
It was such a pleasure to have you here.
Whew.
Love it. Looking forward to the concert, the book, the book signing, and whatever else you're going to continue to do, the films and all of that.
I'm gonna keep going. It's not gonna stop. I'm only getting started.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So now you've met Isaac Taylor, and I'm sure that you enjoyed this interview as much as I did. So he's giving you some dates of his upcoming book, his next episode concert series, and you can follow him. Where can they follow you?
You can follow me on Instagram under Ike Taylor. Not the Ike Turner, but Ike Taylor. IKE Taylor, and then on Facebook under Isaac Taylor. There's a few of us Isaac Taylors on Facebook, but you'll find me. You'll see this head and this smile. So
just look for next concert series and you'll find Isaac Taylor.
Find
so you know what I always say, you were not created to be a carbon copy, so let your unique shine, and we'll see you again next time right here on Vibrant.
And live your best life and do whatever you want. Shake those haters off. You're a nigga so sore.